Okay, so we are starting our session. So in our previous session, we were introduced to web development. Please, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So we were introduced to web development, where we got to know that web development is building an application that works on the internet. And we looked at the various classification of web development where you can become a front-end developer, meaning that you are going to build the front part of the application, the one that the user will interact with. So that is the front-end development. Then we also have the back-end development where you build the server will that will make requests to and get the feedback that we want. And it also has the database where we store every data that we'll be needing in that application. So that is the backend development. Then we also have the full stack development. The full stack development. And the full stack development is working on both the front end and the back end. And we also look at some of the technologies that we can use in the front end, and we mentioned HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Then we have others, the libraries that can also help us. Then for the back end, we have Java, we have Python, we have Node.js, and the rest. So these are some of the technologies that will help us to build our application. And you will need both the front end and the back end to make your application works. So we don't only focus on the front end. So you need, if you want to build an application that users will benefit, that means that you have to work on both of them. So you have to consider which ones that you are going for. So you work on the back end, the front end. So that is it. But today we are going to look at the basics of HTML. So we need to understand this technology, and this technology has been in existence for long, and it is very popular, especially for creating web applications. So so it so in throughout this session we'll be looking at what HTML is, how its document is being structured, how you can create an HTML file. Then we'll be looking at some elements and attributes in HTML. Then we go through some common tags. Then we go to the formatting tags. Then comments in HTML. Then we look at lists in HTML, forms and tables. So this will be our outline for today. So what is HTML? So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And it is used to create web pages. Then it's just give you to the structure of our web page, and it's just like a skeleton. So you have to build flesh on it. So it's just like a skeleton. And if you want to make it beautiful, you build upon it. So just give you the skeleton of the web page. Uh, then it tells how the browser to what display first your images, your links, your videos, how you want them to be displayed. Then we have, and one thing that is common in HTML is that it uses tags and attribute to describe the structure and formatting of a web page. It is easy to learn. Of course, it is beginner friendly. It is very easy to learn. then it works on every platform. So it works on every platform. So these are some of the knowledge that you can get from this slide. And so let's look at the structure of HTML. All right, so when you look at the image on the right, yeah, so you could see some codes written. So this is how an HTML file looks like. So this is how it looks like. So this is just a simple HTML file, which has, so the first item there from the top is what the doc type HTML. So this is an element, and so the doc type is used to declare that this is HTML document, and it also tells the version of the HTML that we are using. So the doc type here is the current version that we are using, which is HTML5. So this doc type declaration tells you that we are working with what HTML5, and it gives the browser the idea that this is what we are using. Then the next item there is HTML. So the HTML there is the root element. So it's the root element, and it's a must that it has to come. So whenever you're writing an HTML code, you can't leave this out. So you can't leave this element out or this type out. And it contains everything that we'll be doing. So it will contain the head, the title, the body, and any other item. So it's just like a container that contains the rest. And after the HTML open tag, there is the head. So the head contains some of the things that are behind the scene. So you don't see them on the web page. So we have metadata. So you can just maybe you can give a description of the web page, the title of the web page, and stuff. So the title of the web page is being put between using the title tag. So this title is what will appear in the browser. So at the top, so let me open the browser so that you see what I'm talking about. All right, so we look at this. I hope you can see. Okay, let me use a different. Go back to a web page that we can use. So let's look at this Facebook web page. And so you can see that the name there at the top is what the title of that web page. So when they use the user name as the title. So the username, the name was used as the title. So that is what comes in between the title element. Okay. Then the next item on the right is what the body. So this body contains the visible part of what the web page. So everything that you will do in the body will be seen. So it's the visible part of what the web page. So it contains all the things that you would want to display to the user. So everything comes inside the body tag. Then we have some tags in between the body, and we have the H2, which is one of the heading tags. Then you also have the paragraph tag. So this is it. So this is just a basic structure of what an ATM file or document. So how do we create an ATM file? So we want to know how we can create an ATM file. So I think we've all opened our editor already. So one thing you have to, when you go through the editor, which you will do, so you go to file, then you choose a new file. So the new file will give you the option to save your file. So one thing peculiar about ATM is that you need to include its extension. So it should be, you should include the ATM.atm extension, which determines that the file is on an ATM file. So when you look at, we have documents like PDFs. So anytime you see a PDF file, it has .pdf. The same with documents and others. So HTML files also have the extension .html. So you name it, then you include the extension just as in this. Then you just save your file. So we will go through that process to create a file which we'll be using today. So let's open our editor. So let's open our editor. Please, if you have any question, make sure you can ask. So if you're facing any challenge, to let me know. All right. So before we create the file, I want us to add the folder that we created during our first session. So we created a folder named WebDev. So we want to add that folder into our work. So go to file, then you click on add file to workspace. So when you hit the option to choose the folder that you want to include. So we save the folder in the so we save the folder on the desktop. And so this is my name, WebDev. So this is what you add. Then just click add. All right. So we want to create the file. So when you look at the left side, just at the top of the document folder that you added, you see we have the new add new file icon there. We also have a folder there. So we want to add. So just click on the new file, then you name it. So just click on it, then you name it index.html. So this is just simple. So you don't have to go through all the process to create the file. So index.html. All right. So I have created mine. All right. So you've been able to create an HTML document. All right. So let's go back to our slides. All right. So the next thing we are looking at is elements and attributes. So just as I said, HTML uses elements and attributes. So it is very key. So everything that we are going to do, we're using elements and attributes. So HTML element consists of a start tag, a content, and what an end tag. So when you look at, so let's look at the image on the right. So you see there's a p tag. So we have the closing, the opening here, and also have the closing tag. So you see how the opening tag was code was created. So you use the less than, then the tag name will come, then greater than. And when you look at the closing tag, there's a less than sign, a forward slash, the p, the tag name, and what, the greater than sign. So this is how the tags are written. So anytime you want to add a tag, you just start with the less than with the tag name, then the greater than. But with the closing tag, there will be a forward slash before the word, the tag name. All right. And in between the opening and closing tag is the content. So in between the opening and closing tag is the content. So everything that you have to write should be in between the opening and closing tag. And all of them forms the elements. So all of them, the opening tag, the content, the closing tag, forms the element. Then we have what we call the attributes. So let me open the next slide. So attribute provides additional information about an element, and it is always placed in the opening tag. So let's look at this element again. So we are still having the paragraph tag or the p tag, and the opening and closing. And inside the opening tag, there is an attribute named class. The attribute named class, and you also have its value. So always an attribute should have a value. So there should be a value. So this is our attribute, which is class, and we have the text as well. The value, the text is the value. So this is how we add an attribute. We can also have attributes like ID. So when you want to give an ID to a tag, you just write ID then with what, its value. For images, we have an attribute like src, which is source. So the source will contain the link or the URL to the image. So it will contain the URL of the image, so that you can be able to display it. I think we'll talk more about we'll talk more about this when we continue with our practice. All right. Then let's look at common ATM tags. So we have many tags here. So we have common ATM tags. So there's the HTML, we've already seen it, which has opening and closing tag, head tag, the title, the body. We have the headings. So the headings, there are 6 of them from H1 to H6. So both have opening and closing tag. So you should take note of that. We have the P tag. So the P tag is for paragraphs. So anytime you want to add a paragraph, you use the P tag. Then we have the anchor tag or hypertext or hyperlink tag. So the A is what, an anchor tag. So this is like a link. So you put a link. So when you click on it, it will take you to where it is being defined. So this is a link tag. So you should take note of that. And this is what the image tag. So image, it is self-closing tag. So that's why after the img we have the forward slash and what, the the greater than sign, because there's no you're not going to put anything in between. So there's no need for opening and closing tag. So it's a self-closing tag. So you don't need as above. All right. Then we have for division. So we have for division. So we have for division, and it serves as a container. So whenever you want to uh, get create a new container, you can use the division so that to divide. You use it to be a container for your content. So you have the span. So this is a span, and it's an inline. So whenever you use a span, it just follow horizontally the previous element. Then we have the UL is present unordered list. Unordered list. So when that is when you want to bullet. So you have a list of items that you want to include. So you can use the UL tag, or there's another one which is the ordered list. So the ordered list is like starting from 1, 2, 3, or I, like that, A, B, C for ordered. But for this one, there's no numbering. The unordered one, there's no numbering. So we should take note of that. And the LI is what? The list item. So the list item. And the list item are being used inside the UL or OL tags. So this will serve, the UL or the OL will serve as the parent. Then this LI will be children. All right. Then we also have the break. So line break. So if you want to, whenever you put this tag in between maybe two words or element, it will break so that it will continue from the next line. So it will continue from the next line, and you can see that it only has one tag. There's no opening and closing. So these ones it doesn't have any content, so they avoid tags or elements. So it has no content, but they have some effects. So to give you a break, then there's a horizontal line when you want to, maybe after your paragraph, you want to, or after your division, or you want to include a horizontal line, and that is when you can use this. So it doesn't need both opening and closing tag. So this is also an avoid element. So let's take note of that. All right. So we will go to our editor again so that we practice what we've gone through. So we want to start our HTML, and I said you should have the doc type declaration. Let me increase the font. So let me increase the font to 20. Okay, so you need, so this is how it is done. So an exclamation mark followed by the doc type word. Then we have HTML. So please let's take note. It should always come. It should always come. Then the next tag is for the HTML tag. So we have both the opening and closing. And inside the HTML tag, that is where you have the head and body. So the head is a child of all the HTML. So the head will come. The VS Code makes things simple. So whenever you start with the tag, it gives you the closing tag. So it auto complete what you are doing. So it makes it easy when coding. So we have the head tags. Then inside the head, there's one thing we learned, which is we want to add a title. So the title tag should come. So that is, so you add anything you want to include in between. So maybe I can say welcome to Coding Ladies. All right, so this is one. So this is the title I've added. So welcome to Coding Ladies. All right, so, but you can include many other things inside the head tag but for now we will just start with this. As we continue, we'll be adding more to the head. Then the next one is under the head tag, that is the close after the closing tag, then you include the body. So the body tag, so the opening, then the closing. So we have the body tag, both the opening and closing. Then in between, it should have all that visible content you want to display on the web page. So everything you want to see in the web page should be in the body. So I want to add an H1, which is a heading tag. So H1 is what? The biggest, that is, it has it has special font style. And H1 is the biggest among them. So you have up to H6. So let me use, so you can just give it web, let's say web dev. All right. So before this, let me run it on the web on the browser so that you see the effect. So the last time we downloaded live set, when it comes to the left side, you see this icon here. When you click on it, you can download the live server extensions. So I have already downloaded it. So if you have not downloaded it, please you do that now. So you download it. So I have already downloaded it. The reason why I want you to install the live server is that it gives you like a real time changes, so you don't need to be refreshing your pages again. So it will automatically update it for you. So that is why we are using the live server. All right. So let's run our first HTML document. So we want to run this. So before you run this using the live server, so you go to view. So when you look at the top bar, you go to view. So when you go to view, you go to view, then we have hello.
Hello.
Is there any challenge?
Israel, sorry. Yes. I have
Okay.
to take you back a little bit. Is that you are very, very
Wow.
fast. I mean the index where you type the doc type, the
Mhm.
HT, yes. And I'm taking
All
my
right.
time to
All
do
right.
that.
So I'll go slow
But
for you.
it's like
All
I'm
right.
running.
Okay.
I'm a beginner. That's why I'm
Sure.
I'm,
Sure.
I'm saying
I
that.
understand.
Yes.
Please, if you have any challenge, let me know so that. Uh, all right. So let me go back to what I did. All right. Let me increase the font again so that it become a little bigger for you. 23 something. All right. So I'm starting all over again for. But please, I hope you've created the file already.
Yes,
Okay, okay, all right.
I'm already there.
So I'm saying that for HTML there is a doc type declaration which tells us it is what HTML5 version that we are using. So it should always come first. So that's the first thing you write. So you start with uh, the less than sign. Then we have the doc type. Uh, we have the doc type. So you start with exclamation mark, then doc type, then space ATM. So that is what you have to do. So please, everyone should do that. All right, thank you.
Done.
So one thing you should also notice that HTML is not case sensitive. So whether you use small letters or big letters, it it doesn't care. So it can be big letters, upper cases or lower cases, anyhow you want it. Um, but when you use the same case, it makes reading very fast. And one thing you have to do is using the small letters or lower cases are readable. Unlike upper cases, it becomes so difficult reading when you use them throughout. So let's stick to using uh, lower cases. But the doc type, yeah, let's leave it like that. Uh-huh. The next thing is the root element, which is the HTML, which is very, very important. You can't leave it out. Uh-huh. So when you type like this, VS Code complete it for you. Uh-huh. So you don't need to worry about that. Uh-huh. Then, so every other thing will come in between. But please, I hope you have done that now. All right, thank you.
Yes.
And I hope any other person has done that. All right. So the next tag we are going to use is the head tag, which is a child of the HTML tag. So it should be in between. So please do that as well. Please, are you done with that? Hello. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And the next tag you are going to use is the title tag. So the title is what you want to see on the bar. So when you open your uh, okay, so let's do the title. Then we run it on the on the browser so that you see what I'm saying. So you can give it a title anyhow you want it. Maybe welcome to Coding Ladies. So this is the title I have given. So please you can do the same. When we are done, we are going to open it in our browser so that you see the effect. Please, are you done with that? All
Yes,
right,
please.
so we are all going to run this in our browser. So the last time we all downloaded the live server. So if you have not done that, you can do that now. So you go to the left side of the editor, you see this icon. Uh-huh. Then you click on it, then you search for live server. So I have done that. So you click on it, then install. So this is the symbol. So when you don't see this, means it's a different one. So you just download the one with this symbol. Okay, so install it. All right. So when you are done, let's close it. Let's go back here. Then go to view. So when you go to view, so we want to open it. First, you go to view, then command palette. So just click on the command palette. Then in the inputs provided, you search for live server. All right, so you search with live server. All right, so I think mine. So the one with open with live server. So this is what we're going to use. So live server, open with live server. So you just click on it. So you just click on it. So when you click on it, it will open in the
And
browser for you.
yeah, please,
Hello.
please, my views. I'm seeing
Yeah, I'm
installed.
listening.
Hello, please, with my views, I'm seeing installed, recommended. My
And
views, as I right, I'm seeing installed, recommended, enabled, and disabled. That's the only thing I'm seeing.
you mean your view? There is not. Check what you click. Check what you clicked.
Yes,
Please check that again. So click on the view again.
the live
So when you,
server. I should click on the view
but have you
again.
installed the live server?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, I have.
Then
Yes.
just go to the view on the left, on the top bar, the VS Code on the top
Hello.
bar. You see the view tab there. Have you seen it?
Okay. Okay. Because there are two view. One is view, one
Okay.
is view. Yes.
Then the
Yes.
command palette is there. Have you seen it?
So I click on
So
the
click on the command palette.
yes, please.
Then when you click on it, you search for live server. So search for live server. So the one with open with live server, that is what we are going to use. The one with open with live server.
Okay.
So click on it so that it will open it in the browser. So mine is opened. So let me divide my screen so that you see the results as we code. All right. So you could see that on the bar there is what the title that you wrote. So mine was welcome to coding ladies. So in the title that is what will appear over here. So on the bar. So as soon as it opens on the browser, this is what you see on the bar. Welcome to coding ladies. All right. One has seen the effect. Please, have you seen the effect? All
Yes,
right,
please.
thank you. So the next thing we are going to do is write the body tag. So make sure you write that too. Just after the closing tag of the head tag of the head element. So just as the head, include the body. So the body will contain everything you want to see on your web page. So let's take note of that. All right. So I want to write something in the body. So I'm going to use the H1. Um, you can just type for VS Code. You can just type the name and it will appear. Then just press enter. When you press enter, it will complete everything for you. So sometimes you don't have to even write the less than or greater than sign. Just write the tag name H1. Then it will give you both the opening and all closing tag. So inside the H1, I want to write web development course. So that's what I want to write. Web development So mine has displayed the result. So I have the web development course. Web development course. Please do that and give me your response, your feedback on what you see. Make sure you set your editor to auto save. So if you have not done that, you can just go to the setting like on the left, on the horizontal bar on your left, on the vertical bar on your left. There's a setting icon there. You just click on it. You go to settings. If you want to make check if it is auto save, you go to settings. Then so the first thing that will come. So I think you can type auto save. Can you search auto save? Then you search auto save. And so this is it, auto save. Then make sure it is after delay. So after a little delay, it should save the document for yourself. So you don't need to save it yourself. So just make sure your settings are on auto save so that it will save your file for you. You don't need to save it yourself. All right. So please, have you seen the effect? Hello. Please, have you done that? All right. So let's continue because of our time. We have a lot to go through today. So this is H1. So we want to do for all the heading tags up to 6, and just select and copy. Then you paste it 5 times. So just copy the first one you did and paste it 5 times. So then just change it to H2. So change everything to, so the second one H2, the next one H3, H3, H4, so H4, H5, then the last one is H6, H6. All right. So we have this. So please let's do that. So you could see for the change, so the updates, you could see that the H1 has the largest in font size. So so up to H6. So the H6 is the smallest. So depending on which of the headings you want to use, you can use any of them. So but the H1 will give you the biggest among the rest. So you have the H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So this is what these are the heading tags from H1 to H6. Please, I hope we are good with it. Hello. Yeah, I've lost connection. Sorry, everyone. I lost my connection. All right, so I'm back now. Hello. All right, so we go to, so we're using uh, the heading tags. So I was saying that we should make a copy of the first one, then we change it to H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So please, let's all do that. So you could see that we have uh, different styling for from H1 to H6, so they are different. So H6 is the least, and so it's the smallest. So you can see that the font size is small and others. And so when depending on the heading you want to use, you can use any of them. So let's take note of this. Then the next tag is the paragraph tag. So the paragraph tag. So just P. So the P represent the paragraph tag. So please let's take note. You want to type anything, it can be a sentence.
Isha,
Hello,
Isha,
please, I'm listening.
please, Isha, please, before you move on, from the slides,
Ye-
I realized that when you go to the body, the H, we started with H1. Your slides, I'm talking from your slides. We
Uh-huh.
started with H1
Two.
with the practice which we are practicing. But with your slides, it's H2.
Yes. So it doesn't matter which one you start with. So any of the elements in there. So let's go back to the
Okay.
slide. So these ones for the doc type HTML, the HTML tag, the head tag, the body tag should follow this. Even sometimes it doesn't matter how you arrange it, but
Mm-hmm.
the A2 tag can come later. So if you want to use it, depending on what you want to do. So if you want to use it, then you use it. If you don't want to use it, so this one you can use either H1 and any of them. Do you get it? So depending on your choice, you choose the heading you want to
Okay.
use.
All right.
All right. Thank you for understanding. So here, uh-huh. So I have here the H1 to H6. And please, I hope you have done that already. Hello. All right. So let's go to the paragraph tag. So the paragraph tag, you can type anything. So type any sentence you want. Uh, Type any sentence you want inside the paragraph tag. And maybe you can also copy. You copy and make. So maybe you can use two paragraph tags. So let's see how it works. So the paragraph tag, just as when you're writing a paragraph, maybe an essay. So you have paragraphs. So the same thing works here. So it will just give you same effect. And so I've used two paragraph tags, and you could see that after the first paragraph tag, it will leave it will leave a space in between. So there's a kind of space, the spacing, the line spacing. So you could see before the next paragraph started, there was a space. So when you use the paragraph tag, it just gives you a space before the next one. So we can use the paragraph tag. Let's check. Let's use another tag. So let's use the image tag. So I want us to use the image tag. So the image tag starts with. So the image tag, we have img. So that is the image tag. So you can see img. So when you type img, VS Code will complete it for you. So let's look at something here. You can see that the img tag have an attribute src, which is source, then alt alternate, an alternative. So the src there is where you put the link or the url to what the image location in the world, wherever you want to pick it from, whether it's in your desktop or it is in the same directory as you are using. So I added I added another document inside the web dev, which is images. So I think you can also create a folder in the web dev document. Then maybe you can add your images in there. That because we'll be using images here. So always remember that the image tag should have, especially the src attribute. src attribute. Then the alternate the alternative attribute is like it describes the image. If the image is a profile picture, and sometimes maybe it will not display early, so the alternative or the name or the description will show first, then before it load. So the alternative describes the image that you picked, so whether it's a profile picture, a cover picture, or anything. So anyhow you name it is up to you. So please, have you all written the image tag? Hello? Please, have you done that?
Hi,
Hello?
Israel. Can you repeat? Yeah, can you repeat what you said
The image
about the
tag.
image
Okay. So I'm saying
description?
that for the image tag, we want to display an image. Uh-huh. So you have to include its URL or directory, the source where you pick it from with the image name. So the image tag should always have the src attribute, as it will not display anything. Uh, it should have an src attribute and what? A value, and the value there will be the directory to the image that you want to use. So src for the source. So the source. Then AL is the alternative. So it just describes the image that you are using. But it's not compulsory to use the ALT. So you can even clear it off. But I think it's important. Sometimes the web page will not load the image as you want. So the 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 ALT will give you the description so that you have an idea of the image that you are expecting. All right. So please, do you understand now?
Yes, I get it, but with what you're explaining right now, with the time to choose a source from the image folder app there. So then, in between the
Yeah,
parentheses, I
I will teach
click
you
like
that. I
how
want you
I want
to
an example to
get
see
this
how
first.
it pop up at
So
the display
now
tab.
that you've written this, so you want to add
Okay.
an image. So if you have an image in the web dev folder, I think it will be very important. So maybe you can add an image to the web. You can create a folder and name it images. Then you maybe you copy some of your images on your PC into that folder. Uh-huh. I think that will help. Or you can just, if you have a um anywhere you have the image, you can go through the source to pick it, but it's best you add it to the folder. So please, let's do that. Let's add it to the folder. So get one image and add it to the web dev folder. You can create a folder, then you add the images inside. So I'm just giving you some few seconds to do that. Then we go through how to pick or how to add the value for the source. uh, the value for the source. Please, have you done that? Hello.
Yeah, please, from the source, the image with the source image, clicked in between, pasted it, but nothing showed on um,
Do you, do you, do
how do I
do
say
you
it?
have
The
where did
site.
you create the folder lesson? Is it on the desktop? So I'll go through it to you where to add an image.
Yes.
All right. So open your file.
Yeah, it's on Word.
It's
Just
on
picked
Word.
it.
Or then then
Yes.
then it will be very difficult.
Or you mean I have to pick the image, post it on my desktop before I'll be able to copy and paste it in there? Is that
If it is
how
in your
it's
Word, that's a document.
supposed
So
to be
like
done?
you don't have the picture on the PC at all. It's part of what your so it's
Okay, okay,
like get an image that is on the laptop. And
oh, okay,
so you maybe you can go to let me go
okay.
through it with you how to add it. So I have my so you can go to anywhere you can pick an image. So I have some images in my Bluetooth folder. Then you can just go there, copy some and have so you can just copy one two. Okay, so maybe let me copy this. You can just copy any of them. So just copy. Then you go to the
Mhm.
web folder. So when folder, then create folder inside so that you add the image there to new. Then add a new folder. So you add a new folder. Then you name it images. Ah,
Mm,
so just do that. After creation, just open it and paste it. It's Control V to paste it. You can just use this to paste it.
yes, yes,
You've done it, right?
yeah. I did.
All right, nice. Okay. But if the name is very long, you can please change it to a simple name. So you can change the name if the name is very long. So change it. You can change the name or just double click on it to change it. Also, so you just rename.
I have.
Okay, so when you right click on the image, and there will be an option to rename. Yeah, Windows 11 that you have to go for show more. So you go to rename, then you change the name.
Yeah.
So it has come to change the name. So I will change to okay. I have let me make it images.
Yes, I have.
So just change the name you want to change the name. All right. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
have. I have.
So let's go back to the header.
Mm,
So you see that. So you see the image folder. Have you seen the image folder inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, where is this my folder? I'm coming in. It's my folder is lost. How's the folder? Okay. Come in. Let me create a new folder myself. Okay. New images. So let me add an image. Okay, so let's add the image that we picked. So it will be in the source. So and this is how you add it. So the value will be. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's add it. So before you add an image, so if the image is in the same directory with, so this is our ATM file and there's a folder, so they are all in the same directory, web dev. So it means that they are like siblings. So if so we all want to pick the image in this folder. So first you type dot, then forward slash. So when you type it, it will suggest, because it is in the same directory with the index.html. So just enter dot, then the forward slash, then the image folder. So it's VS Code has made it simple. So just add it. So the folder is here. So I created the image folder. So this is it. Then the image there, I named my image dot. So image one, mine was image one, then dot JPG. Uh-huh. Okay. So my image has appeared. All right. So if in the same directory, so if the folder is in the same directory with the HTML, you use the dot, then the forward slash, then the folder name, then the page name with extension, with it extension. So it should be the same name. So this is it. If you make one, if you change the letter or make it uppercase, you won't get the result. Okay. So it should be the same name as what you added. So please, let's take note of that. Uh-huh. Please, have you all done it? Have you all been able to add an image? Hello? Please, I'm not getting your response. Have you all been able to add an image to the ATM file? Okay, so have you
Yes,
seen the
please.
effect? Has it appeared in the browser? All right, so I think then you can maybe you can just describe it over there. So hello,
Isra, sorry.
please, I'm listening.
Isra, sorry. I have done the same thing as
Uh-huh.
you've instructed. I'm saying I have done what
Yes.
you have instructed, but the image is not appearing.
Okay.
And I don't know
What
why.
what? But check the name of if is the image is the folder in line with the it index dot. Uh-huh.
The name is there.
So
What?
type the dot then the forward slash. Did it suggest any
Yes,
folder for
yes.
you? You go back.
I did, but it didn't
That
suggest
means that
any folder. Sorry for the
so VS Code needs to, it suggests the folder for if actually you're on the right path. And so check if the image folder was created inside the web dev folder and check the name if yours was images or image.
yes,
Uh-huh. So it's all right. It's the same thing.
yes, yes.
Has
Is
it come now?
yes,
Taba.
Pepe.
Please, so are you okay now?
Yeah, you
Okay,
let's
so
go now.
if any challenge, I'll help you out. All right, so you can add a description to the image.
Yeah.
So maybe this image is coding ladies logo. So maybe you can just add a description. So in case the image doesn't load earlier, so you will see the coding ladies logo. Uh, so that will describe it. Then you can also include another attribute, which is the weight. So maybe you want to give it a weight. So the image tag also takes weight and height attribute. So you can include that. So if your image is too big, maybe you can add a weight, then just enter, maybe you can just use 200 and px, the 200 pixels. We'll talk about that more when you are doing the CSS. So you just write this 200 pixels. So you can see that my image has changed. So first initially it was bigger. So look, so let's see the difference. So this is the size, but when I added the weight attributes and 200 pixels value, it changed the weight and also adjusted what the height. So anytime you add a weight, even if you don't add a height, it will scale it. It will scale it how the image is. So you won't destroy the image. Or you can also add a height yourself. If you want to add a height, you can also add a height. So add a height of maybe 500 pixels. That would be too large. And so when I added a height of 500 pixels, you can see it has stretched the image vertically. But when you add just the weight, it will scale it so that you don't destroy how the image looks. I'm going to remove the height. So I want a uniform size. All right. So let's move on to another tag. So we have the a tag, or an anchor tag, a tag or an anchor tag, which is for links. So if you want to add links, you use the a tag. So just type a tag. Uh, so this is it. So I've typed the a tag, and the a tag has an attribute. You should always scan, just as the source attribute in the image, the href, the href. So the hypertext reference or hyperlink reference. So it should come. So the hyperlink reference. So that is the link after you click after you click on it. That is what will open, or the feedback you get. And it will contain the URL. So maybe I want to go to Facebook. HTTP. Okay, let me add a link to Facebook. HTTPS www.facebook.com. All right. So when I added the value http www.facebook.com, you could see that there's nothing you see. So there's nothing you can click. That is why there's opening and closing tag, so that in between you add the content. So this is Facebook. The link is for Facebook. So you can just type Facebook in between the anchor tag. So you can see that we have Facebook underlined with what? Blue color. So this is what? A link. So see the cursor. The cursor will change. So like a point. So the cursor from here, as soon as it sees an anchor tag or a link tag, it changes. So you can click on it. So when you click on this, it will open. It will send you to where you want. So when I opened it, it has changed to Facebook. So anyhow if you want to go to Instagram, so any link you add, so it will respond. So this, if you want to add a link to maybe your LinkedIn account, you can add. So you can just copy this. So just copy this. Then add as many if you want. You can just go and add more LinkedIn. So then maybe in this link anyhow. Okay, I think let me try coding ladies dot coding ladies coding ladies dot org. So maybe coding ladies. So let me change it to coding ladies. So it has updated. So you can also click on it. Then it will take you to coding ladies website. So when I click on it, it sent me to coding ladies website. So that is the use of what anchor tag. So please let's take note of that. The content can be anything. You can even add sometimes when you take an image, it will send you somewhere. So instead of the text like Facebook or something, in between is like for this one, I can use the coding ladies uh, image or logo. So in between this, you just have to add an image tag. So you can just add image. So add an image, then add a URL. So the image source, you add it there. So let me give it a rate of 200 px. And when you can see that the cursor changes to a pointer. So you can just click the image, it takes you to the same website. So you can add a text, an image, or anything you want to add in between. Maybe your name, you can and anything you want to add in between. So the anchor tag is for links. So anything you want to click to send you to a website, or even in your page somewhere or in a different website, you can still use the anchor tag for that. Please, I hope you get it. Hello. All right, and I hope everyone is getting it. So let's continue. All right, so for even the image, the source, you can just go to Google. It can be an image that you picked from the internet. So maybe plant. Copy your image URL, then you paste it there. It will still appear. And maybe this one, you can just copy image address. When you copy the address, you can just paste it there. So instead of that, maybe you have the image already on somewhere stored on the cloud. You can just copy its URL, then you paste it. They say it's too long. Yeah, it's link that I copied. It's very, very long. As you can see the effect now. So you can copy it online and just the URL online. You paste it there. It will appear. So let me undo this. All right. Then we also have some tags. So we have the div tag, which is a container. So the div it serves as a container. So when you want to divide your web page, you can use the div to divide it. Maybe you have different sections. Maybe you have the navigation bar, maybe the sidebar, the footer. You can use the div to just divide your 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 page. So it's just a division. All right. So you can include anything inside. Maybe a paragraph, something, anything at all can be. So it serves as a container. So it serves as a container. Uh-huh. All right. Then we also have um, the span. So the span tag, and so the span. Maybe let me just type hello. Okay. So the span. So see the hello there. So let me copy it twice. Let me copy it and paste it. And you see the effect whenever you span. See the effect. So you could that it didn't pick the next line. So this is how the span works. If you want to display it horizontally, you can use the span to display whatever you want to display. So just give it a horizontal layout. So you can see the hello all on the same line. So it doesn't take different lines. Unlike the div, that one it will take a different line. Right? It will take a different line. So let's take note of that as well. Then the next thing we are going to look at is unordered list. So maybe you have okay. I think I have. We'll do that later now. So I won't focus on that now. All right. So we'll do it on a different slide. So we also have so let's use like a break. So the BR, so the break. So the break, I said, it's a void tag. It or a void element. It has no. It only has one tag, no closing tag. So the break uh, would would just break the text or the content into two, and it's take the next line. So let's take this paragraph for example. I want to use uh, the break in between these words. So when anytime you use the break, so look at it. So you can see that the because when I use the break, it send these ones to the next line. So you could see. So the temporal and some nulla, and so in between it sends a break. So this is how it works. So when you want to break it to the next line yourself, you just use the BR tag in between. All right. Then we also have the horizontal line tag. So let me bring it here. So okay, let me go up. Before the div, I want to use the horizontal line. So just HR. It's also a void element with no closing tag. So you could see it here, horizontal line displayed. So what this is it. If you want to add a line, maybe you want to add a line without using CSS to underline it or something, you can just use the horizontal line. Then to give you a line, you can style it to change the height, the color, and everything. So that would be another section, but we are not going to do that now. All right. So this is the horizontal line. I've shared the slide so you can go through anytime you want to use something like that. All right. Then the next thing we are going to look at is formatting tags. So you have some tags used for formatting, especially for tests. So maybe you want to let me clear this. So formatting tags. So I'm going to clear everything here so that we go through the formatting tags. All right. So let's go. Let me clear everything. All right. So I'll change this to formatting tag. Formatting. Formatting tag. All right. So formatting tags. So let's go to the slide. All right. So the formatting tags. So the formatting tags are used to enhance web content visual presentation. So sometimes you don't want to use CSS to style the text. So you can HTML has some tags that you can use to style them without using CSS or any style. So we have the EM tag. So the EM tag is for emphasize. So use to emphasize text. And whenever you use it, so it has both opening and closing tag. So it will italize that text or sentence. So the M is there. We have the strong. So the strong indicates important content. And whenever I use that strong, it bolding the text. It bolding the text. So that is, we also have the strong tag. We have the B tag. So the B tag is for bold. So if you want to bold it in the, you want to bold a text in the HTML direct, you use the bold. You also have the italize. To italize a text, you use the I. So B tag for bold, I for italize. Then you have the small tag. So it will decrease the font size of the text. So whenever you use the font, the small tag, it will decrease the font size. Then we have the INS. The INS, that is inserted text. So it will highlight the text. So it will highlight the text for you. So it indicates an inserted text. All right. Then we also have the subscript, the SUB for subscript, and that one, like, so for subscript, maybe 5, then a small letter or number below it. So a subscript, if you want to add a subscript, you use the SUB. For superscript, like exponents, for examples, you can use SUP for superscript. Then we have the mark tag. So the mark tag is for it. When you use a mark tag, it will highlight the background, or it will add a color to the background of that text. Then we also have the delete text, the delete tag, DEL. So when you add a DEL, it will add a stroke, or it will just like you cancel something. So like it's deleted. So let's go to uh, the editor so that we practice that as well. All right. So the first one was the first one we used was the EM. So I'm going to write a sentence. So let me add sentence. So I'm going to use a paragraph to write a sentence. So I'll just type lorem. So lorem, when you type lorem, it will give you some kind of sentence. So it just automatically give you a sentence. So that is it. So I have this sentence, and we want to style this to suit how we want it. If you don't want to use the CSS styling, which later we will learn. So we want to emphasize this text here. So we want to emphasize this text here. So in between, so this will be the content now. So we use the emphasize tag, the EM, so opening and closing. So please take note of that. Alright, I think it has closed this for me. So I'll just copy this, cut this, and paste it in between. Okay, let me increase so see, I'm increasing it so that you see. So this is the word that I emphasize. So you can see that it is being italicized. So this is the effect. So this is the effect. Then the next one is strong. We want to use a strong for this word. Ahmed. So let me cut it. Then let me just strong, and I'll just paste it there. So in between, so the Ahmed is in between the opening and closing tag of the strong element. So you can see that it's holding it right. Yes. So this is the effect that you get. Then there are more. The bold, the B2 works the same. So you can add a B tag. So you can add tag to this. It also give you the same. So it's also bolding this one. So let's take note of that. Then the italize, the I2. So let me just change this one. We'll change this to also italize this for you. You can also use, so let me use the delete. So the del, so the delete. So let me cut and paste it here. So you could see the delete. There's a stroke. So it has just cancelled this. Maybe something you don't like. So sometimes when you go to some e-commerce platform, sometimes you see there will be a value, an amount or a price that they've cancelled. Then the new price will be there. So I think let me do something like that. So let me use the speed. So the first one will delete. There may be $20. There may be, then the next one maybe they'll just decrease the price maybe to $15. So it means that maybe there's a reduction, so a discount. So sometimes you go there, they'll just cancel the original price, then they add a new price. So this is it. You can do something like this. All right. So that is how it works. Let me use the mark. So the mark. So whenever I use the mark, so mark. So let me hello. So with the mark, there's what a background color. There's a background color, which you can change the background color later. So we'll do that later. Then the subscript. So let's say you have this, maybe a paragraph. Then maybe you want to five. Okay, O subscript 6. Okay, O subscript 2. Like for oxygen. So for the symbol for oxygen. So 2, right? So this is it. O subscript 2 for oxygen. So for if you do for chemical symbols like this, you can do something like this. And if it's an exponent, so maybe 5 exponent 2, 5 exponent, you use the superscript SUP, then maybe 2, 5 exponent 2. So something like this, you get it. All right. Please, do you all get it? Hello? All right, so let's continue. Then for small, so let's take small. The small tag P. Maybe login. So let me just. So I'll use a small in between this. The small, the small tag. So I use a small tag. Let's see the effect. And so you can see, and the font size has decreased. And so you can see this one, which is bigger than this. And so when you use a small, it will decrease the font size for you. Alright, so these are some formatting tags that you can use in HTML. So when you want to start your test, so you can use this. Them. All right. Then the next thing we will learn, the next thing we are learning is how to comment in HTML. How to comment. So why do you have to comment? Why do you have to comment? So comment annotate code without affecting the rendered web page. So comments are not seen in, so they are hidden. So they are hidden content. Whenever you use the comment tag, so or the symbols, that content will not be seen. It will be hidden. And sometimes, most times, when you want to use it, we use it. Maybe you want to describe maybe that stage you reached. So sometimes you want to comment. Maybe this is for the header. Maybe add a comment so that when somebody takes your code, the person will see that, oh, this is header, but this is what uh, the body or the main, the sidebar. So its comment is very, very important. So it enhances readability and facilitate collaboration. So whenever you're working with a team, make sure you comment your code so that as soon as the person sees this, he can easily identify where the fault is. Maybe. All right. So let's add a comment. So if you want to add a comment, so you start with the less than with exclamation mark, then two dashes. So the less than sign, the exclamation mark, then two dashes. Then the content will be here. Then you have to also end it. Uh, so you end it with two dashes, then the greater than sign. So please let's remember the comment, how to comment. And you can comment for a single line and multi lines. And so it's just the same thing for multi lines. Let's practice that so that you see what I'm saying. So let's go back to this. So I want to comment. Okay, so let me just P is a comment. So this is the comment word that we use the P tag. So it's visible now. So when you want to comment it out, it will not be visible, it will be hidden. So see something. So this the comment is hidden, and you can see it changes the color. This one, my editor changed it to brown, so it means that it changed it from all the others. All the rest are different, and you could see the color change. So this is what comments. So this is commented. It's not seen in the browser. So it's not in the browser. So this is a single comment. Then if you want more, you can also comment multiple of them. So let me just somewhere. Okay, so see something. We want to comment both of them without commenting them uh, one by one. We want to do all of them at once. So this, you start with what? The opening. So the opening is this. You can start from the top anyhow you want it. So then you close it with what? You could see that when it started with, as soon as you enter the first one, it has commented even the closing tag and all the the closing tag of the body and that of the HTML. So this is very important. If you don't close it, there's some content you'll be expecting, but it will be commented out. So let's take there were some things here that we don't want to comment. So it will hide all of them. If you don't close it, it will hide all of them. So that's why you have to close it. If there are some things after these two paragraphs, they would all have been commented. So that's why it's necessary to add the closing. So you have to add the closing uh, to prevent hiding other content which you are not expect. So you use this before, then this at the end of the content that you want to hide or comment. So you could see. Yeah, so this is how we comment in HTML. All right. Please, do you have any question? Is there any question or clarification somewhere? Hello. Or everyone is okay, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Israel, hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not to I followed up till now and I'm okay with it. The only issue I had earlier was the live server part where it's supposed to pop up and show as I'm working. That's the only part that it didn't actually I have the live server extension downloaded, but and then when I click the command palette it
Did you
doesn't
search
pop up.
for it?
Yeah, I've actually seen it. I've seen a live server with live server, but then I click it and then it doesn't actually pop up. It
Okay.
doesn't. I don't know
Did you added
why.
the folder to the workspace? Ah, we did.
Yeah, yeah, I've done everything. I'm actually doing. I've done the processes till the end, like what's the formatting and everything. The only problem is it's showing on the live server as I'm able to see it live as I'm working.
Okay. S- Can you share your screen to me so that can you share your screen so that we go through together?
I'm using a different device for
Okay,
it.
okay.
Okay. I'm using a different device. Yeah. But has it got to do with? I don't know if it's part of the I'm using the MacBook. Would that be a problem?
But you can still share it, right? Yeah, you can still use that. So you let me.
Do I need to? I don't know.
Oh, you are not using the laptop for the
A
meeting.
settings thing.
I use it for the meeting.
No, I'm using. No, it's not the same device for the
Oh,
meeting.
then no, unless you turn your camera, then I don't know if it will be a good idea. Um, okay, so you if you can't use the live server for now, so you can open it in the you can open the that file in the browser so that you see what you are doing. You have to be changing, you have to be refreshing the page, so that you see the changes. So let me teach you how to do that. So
Okay.
go to your file manager. So just go to your file manager like this. Um, Then go to open the web dev folder. So this is mine. So open the web dev folder. I believe you've
Mm-hmm.
seen the index, right?
Okay.
You just double click on it. When you double click on it, it will open the
Yes.
browser for you. So mine has opened.
Oh, I think I
Is that
know what the problem. Yeah, I think I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. Yeah, thank
welcome?
you. I guess from my end, the problem is
Okay. All right.
from my end. Yeah,
You're
thank you very
welcome.
much.
So it's almost it. I think it's past 9 already. Um. So I want us to go through the last thing for today. The rest of the things we'll do it later. So we want to go through the HTML list. So HTML list. So let's go through this. So we have HTML list, and it helps us to group a set of related items. So maybe you have a list of items that you want to add. So you can use the list tags to add those lists. And we have what we call the unordered list. The unordered list. So the unordered list, I said earlier that it has, these are bulleted, but they are not numbered. So unordered lists are not numbered, like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, for this they are not numbered. But you see a bullet. It comes with a bullet. So, and it's used the li tag for the list item. So each of the item should be placed inside the list tag. But the ul tag will be the container for the list items. So it starts with the ul, the opening and closing. And the list tag, the list item tag, will come inside. So as many you want to use them, depending on the number of items you want to add, you use it. They also have the ordered list, the ordered list. So which is OL. So the ordered list is a container for the list item. So, but when you use the ordered list, it will number the items from 1, 2, 3, 4, or A, B, C, D, I, like that for you. Then you also have description list. So you also have the description list. And for description list, maybe you have an item, but you want to describe what it is. You can use the description list, and the description list is the DL tag. So it's a container for these. So, and each item you want to add must have the DT and the DD tags. So the DT will define the term name or the name for the item. Then the DD describes the item. So when you use the DL tag or list, the description list, each item should have both DT and the DD tags. So these are lists in what HTML. So let's go to then we see what we will have. So let me clear everything. Um, let me clear everything so that we can do this together. So list HTML. Okay, so HTML list. All right. So the first one we are going to do is unordered list. So you let me add an H2 for unordered list. So unordered list. So unordered list, I said you start with UL tag, which serves as the container, and then in between you add your list items. So maybe we want to add a list of a list of fruits. So a list of fruits. So you add orange, pineapple, watermelon. So this is what unordered list. So it's so easy. So unordered list. You can also use this for ordered list too, you can see, let me add ordered list. So for ordered list, so just copy this. So ordered list. For ordered list, we change it to OL. So let me make it OL. So ordered list. So let's look at the difference. So for unordered list, it has a bulletin. But ordered list, they are numbered. So but you can change the bulletin using CSS. So we'll do that later. So this one, so you can change the numbers to maybe alphabets, Roman numerals, etc. So this is what list in what HTML. Then let's look at the last list, that is descriptive or description list. So description list. Description list. So the description list starts with DL. Alright. And I said each item should have the DT, the term name, the DT, which is the term name, maybe apples. So should have both of them. Then you have the DD for maybe 200. So you can see how, so let's take apples. There are 200 apples. So let me add more of it. Maybe the next one is orange. Oranges. Maybe 300 of them. So you see how the description list looks like. So the apples, then before the value, the description, it leaves some tab or some space before the word is content. So this is what description list. Uh, so description list for you. All right. Please, is there any question up to here? Hello. Please, are you okay? Hello.
Hi, no question, please.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So we're ending our session for today. So we've been able to go through some basics in HTML. So we looked at ATM structure. We looked at how to create a file in HTML. We looked at elements and attributes. We said HTML uses elements and attributes to describe its content, and each element has a, a start tag, content, and an end tag. Uh-huh. And inside the opening tag, we can have some attributes that you can use to add some content. So for images like this, we have an attribute like src for source. So you add the directory or the URL of the image you want to pick inside the src attribute. All right. But we also noted that some of the elements or tags like BR for break, HR for horizontal do not have a closing tag. So they are void tags or elements. So we just but we give a kind of effect. Uh-huh. Then we went through some common tags in HTML. We looked at the heading tags, the paragraph tag, the anchor tag of the link tag, the image tag, the div tag for containers. We looked at the span, which display the image inline or horizontally, or it will display the content horizontally with that. Moving to next line. Then we went through ATM list and we saw that we have unordered list, descriptive list, and ordered list. We also looked at some formatting tags, then how to comment in HTML. So this is what we've done today. So there will be an assignment for you, and the assignment will be on your profile. So you would I will send the assignment to the page, so where you build a website for your profile. So you have to add your name, your 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 profile picture, maybe some descriptions or some hobbies and other things that will be in. So I'll add that before tomorrow so that you can work on that assignment. We'll be working on that assignment. We'll be adding up after we've learned CSS. We have to style it and make it look good for us. So for now, what we've learned, we just give you the skeleton. You can't really style it to how you're expecting it. But after our CSS session, you'll be able to style it, change fonts, and everything. So thank you all for making it to today's session. Have a good evening. Bye.